Jersey Belle, Season 1, Episode 5, Southern Fried Birthday. So, I mentioned this before, I'm really struggling with the show because we have that preview of she wants to have an abortion, and we're all 99% sure that it has to do with the lady in New Orleans, and it's making me really dread it. I think it was a real huge misstep to show that. It's not something that I want to find out an answer to. I'm actually really dreading it. But anyway, I am pushing through. One of the other things that almost offends me is how the rest of the people on the cast are acting like the idea of an adoption is like, how will you explain it to your children? I'll explain what adoption is, and then I will explain that we had one. Like, it's just weird to me that everyone's like, it's such a big deal. Like, I grew up and I knew people who were adopted. My college roommate was adopted. She was Korean. She was adopted into a Norwegian family. That's just how adoption works. And if it's not someone you're blood related to, it really doesn't matter if they have different skin color, ethnicities, or from another country. And of course, if you know anything about adoption, you know that an adoption within the United States is extremely competitive. It's like, if you're picked to receive an adoption, it's a huge thing. It can take years and years and years. And so it's really common to adopt outside of the country just because it's a little bit faster. But it's still hugely expensive and very competitive. So I don't understand this whole thing about, like, how will you explain to the kids? Why is that so weird? Anyway, so Halloween's coming up. They're going to do a birthday party for Jaime. I heard about what a great episode this was, and it wasn't a bad episode. It just didn't, I'm not quite sure why everyone was like, oh, it was such a great episode. Anyway, she's going to New York. She wants to produce shows. She wants to produce a show. I know someone very talented, charismatic on camera, interesting life story. Me. That's what I'm trying to... Is it not clear? Is that... Man, tough room. Anyway, we see Arden and William. They want to do this house, and she insists that it needs to be like 10,000 square feet in order for them to have space for kids and entertaining. And that's... I grew up in a large house. We've had a large vacation house. Obviously now, if you look around, I'm going to tell you this is not the house. I have little stencils of deer head and little elk and cow skulls on my wall. So I am not living in a 10,000 square foot house now, but I've lived in them before. And you can have a number of large bedrooms and a huge dining room and several areas to entertain, and it doesn't have to be 10,000 square feet. And William's right, it's super unwieldy. I mean, you can't use every room at once unless you have like 20 people living in the house. It ends up being that there's rooms that you never use. It ends up being inconvenient because you get comfortable in a room. And even if you get comfortable in a room and your spouse gets comfortable in another room, it still leaves like 7 other rooms that you never use. So I'm with William on this one. I want a big house, but I wouldn't need a 10,000 square foot house. And unless you had if we had full-time staff, like if we could have someone who came and cleaned twice a week, yeah, I guess I could do that. But if you don't want people in your house, then, I don't know what to tell you. So they're figuring that out. They have this big fancy birthday party for Jaime. I was kind of expecting some big twists, but it was pretty straightforward. It was exactly what they said it would be. It was beautiful, by the way, Danielle and Lucy. I thought it was gorgeous. It's not disparaging. The cake looked great. The food looked wonderful. I don't think I've ever been to a party quite like that. I wouldn't want to throw a party like that because that just seems like too much work for me. But if someone else wanted to... Anyway, Michael gives Jaime 4 tickets to New Jersey, which everyone assumes is like for her and the kids, which didn't make sense to me because that would be like one of the kids stayed home. So I was trying to figure out what that meant for a long time until she does reveal that it's not really for her and the family, it's for her and 3 of her friends. So her 3 closest friends, who are Arden, Danielle, and Lucy, are going to go. And I'm not totally 100% convinced that Arden is really one of her closest friends, because I like Arden. I would probably be friends with Arden. I just don't necessarily get kind of her and Jaime 100%. But Danielle is sweet as a button. Lucy is really fun, although Lucy is a little bit on my list just because she's so insistent that this adoption's a bad thing and that it's super weird. And I'm a little bit like, Lucy, it's not really your business. Yes, it would be difficult for you to adopt another child, but no one's asking you to. It is Jaime's decision. So I'm a little bit like, about Lucy right now, although she doesn't need to apologize to me. She needs to apologize to, And the whole thing is, Jaime wants to move back to New Jersey, and that can't happen. I'm just telling you right now. It would be an awful show if she was back in New Jersey. Like a 37-year-old woman is even as cool as Jaime in New Jersey with all of her New Jersey friends is probably not as interested as Jaime in Alabama with all of her Alabama friends who are pretty awesome. So, I mean, I'm not even like thinking twice about this whole, will she move back to New Jersey? She just got her TV show. She's not moving. Anyway, I'm still working to catch up. I'm sorry, I haven't been feeling well. I'm super behind. We have all this work on the ranch. Maybe I'll grab some footage of me, what I do on the ranch so you can see. Because it's pretty cool. So I will catch you guys later.